My name is Cheuk. I'm a graduate from the Graduate School of Education here at Stanford, and I studied science education. And I have an incoming position at Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo as an assistant professor in science education. During my 5 years here as a student, I co-led two organizations. The first one was Mothers in Academia, and that grew into the Student Parent Alliance. When I started graduate school, I had a 6-month-old daughter. Her name is Alexandria. And I was still nursing and pumping at that time. And I lived not at Stanford, I lived in San Francisco, so I would have to commute, pump, and bring back all the milk to my husband and our caretaker. And so I think my biggest challenge about 5 years ago was basically finding a place to pump. And in the building where I worked, there was no designated lactation space. I didn't know how everyone was sort of finding their own solutions. Luckily, I had a great advisor. He let me pump in his office and in the conference room, but I found those solutions to be very inadequate. I really knocked on a lot of doors, sent out a lot of emails, inquiring about why isn't there a dedicated lactation space in the building where I work, and thinking about what is a more institutionalized solution to that problem. And through that advocacy work, I really met a lot more women, a lot more mothers. In the 5 years, we've had now a university lactation policy. We have funding to support families in need, really because a lot of the parent needs are income-based. So a lot of the work you can outsource, and that costs money, whether it's childcare, costs for healthcare, and really thinking about how do we support families who really need the extra funds so that they're not working 2 jobs, they're not taking on consultancies, and that delays their graduation. And also the formation of the working group at the university level, really thinking about this population. So I think I'm super appreciative of VPGE taking the leadership, investing in students for us to come up with solutions, and then really institutionalizing the needs and concerns and the resources into real practices, real policies, and committees and working groups that support this population. I just actually had a conversation with a new prospective student who's joining the next cohort as a PhD student. And I told her, number 1, congratulations, and 2, you and your family will have an amazing time to learn and grow here. And there's a fabulous network of other student parents that you can tap into, both at your housing, through the School of Education, and through other networks that they will be able to tap into. So I was a lot more hopeful than if I had that conversation 5 years ago, where I may not have had the opportunity to point her in the right direction. But now I feel like VPGE is well-versed in terms of where to turn students. Same with Ken Su's program at the Grad Life office. So they're really well prepared to support students who are also caregivers for both their young children and also elderly family members. So I think I'm hopeful that the university is really embracing student parents as part of their population and making sure we're counted. So I think for me, I'm hopeful to let students know, don't feel like you need to hide your student parent status. You should share it because that is part of our cultural norm here. And that if you're a parent, you shouldn't feel ashamed or have to hide that fact, but you are part of building that culture, shifting it so that it is more inclusive for student parents like yourself. So I think if all of us take a little part of changing the culture to make sure we have those difficult conversations with our classmates and our professors and our staff members to make sure our needs are heard, and I think, when I come back as an alumna, that this place will be even more inclusive for student parents, and I'll see even more practices and policies changed.